I'm Natish Basono in Vaughan, where one woman was looking forward to a winter vacation in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Now, that vacation was thrown into question after the country was declared a state of emergency. The Canadian government's even issued a travel advisory. Now, when the government issues warnings, it's up to airlines to help their passengers rethink their plans, but that experience didn't go so smoothly for Crystal Commande and her family, who booked with Air Canada Vacations.
A vacation we've been looking forward to since July became a total nightmare.
A nightmare, all because of the rise in violence in St. James Parish, which includes the tourist hotspot Montego Bay.
So, me being a parent, traveling with 2 small children, a group of us traveling with about 5 or 6 small children, we didn't want to travel to Montego Bay. We reached out to Air Canada Vacations, who shut us down, telling us it's business as usual. You can travel to Montego Bay or you can lose your whole package for $5,700.
Crystal says she spent hours on the phone, and despite having travel insurance, she couldn't negotiate with the airline. 3 other families who were traveling with them through WestJet were able to get a full credit for their trip without a problem.
We weren't asking for our money. We wanted a credit just to go to a safer destination. So how can one airline and another airline treat their passengers so different? It's not fair.
We reached out to Air Canada. In an email, they say they implemented a policy yesterday for customers who no longer wish to go to Montego Bay. They tell travelers, if you're scheduled to travel between January 19 and January 31st, you may contact Air Canada Reservations to change your flight free of charge to another date between now and February 14th, subject to availability in the cabin you originally purchased. Otherwise, any fare difference will apply. One passenger advocate says that response isn't ideal.
What Air Canada has done so falls short of what I would consider reasonable in the circumstances, but I cannot say with a good conscience that there is a clear rule that they are breaking.
That's because he says there's no rule that says an airline has to refund passengers if there's a natural disaster or riots. Shortly after we contacted Air Canada about Crystal and her family, she says the airline offered her a compromise. Air Canada rebooked their trip to another destination, but Crystal and her family are now separated from their traveling party. They also have to reschedule time off, and all this comes at another price.
We've had to pay $1,800 out of our pocket to upgrade to a different hotel and a different destination, and they just do not care whatsoever.
Now, Crystal and her family say they're relieved to know they won't be forced to fly to Jamaica next week. Instead, they managed to rebook their travel plans to Punta Cana instead, but they won't be able to fly out for another 2 weeks, which means these luggages here will have to stay put. They also say they'll look at other airlines the next time they book a vacation. Now, this story was brought to us by a CityNews viewer. If you have news in the making or a story you'd like to share, here are some of the ways you can contact us. Natish Basono, City News.